It's a Rumble Wildcard draw here on Kickin' Out at 2 as we get set for Royal Rumble coming up this weekend from Saudi Arabia. Joining me to partake in this Royal Rumble Wildcard draw, the Wildcard himself, Dennis J. Levy. What's up, dude?
Fucking A, brother. Looking forward to this. During our podcast, the last podcast, we mentioned we're going to watch a Royal Rumble match, and you gave me the choice, and we were talking about some of our favorite entries. One of it was the Faces of Foley, and I'm like, you know what? That's the one we gotta watch, brother.
Yes, that's from 1998 from San Jose, California, the Shark Tank, where the San Jose Sharks play. That was the year that Steve Austin won the Royal Rumble the second time, as he was headed to WrestleMania to face Shawn Michaels for the WWF Championship with Mike Tyson as the special guest enforcer. That's another subject for another day, but it's Royal Rumble time, so here's what I'm going to have all you do as a part of this special watch-along. Go to your Netflix account. And I know some of you might have the Netflix with ads, without ads. I have the one without ads. So I get it if sometimes during this recording, ads might pop up or whatever. But if you want to join us, you can by going to your Netflix account and searching Royal Rumble, and you'll find Royal Rumble 1998. And what I want you to do is I want you to fast forward to 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 23 seconds. When I press play, you press play as well. Make sure your television is muted so you can hear the soft, soothing sounds of one Dennis J. Levy and myself, Dave Rosenbluth.
Very soft.
Yeah. And, we're going to have some fun with this one. This Rumble, usually Rumble match goes about, 50, 55 minutes to an hour or so. So, we're going to have a lot of fun. So, from time to time, I might turn up the audio. I'll give you guys a timestamp. And so you can follow along with us. And, that is that. So, without further ado, like I said, Netflix, Royal Rumble 1998, 1 hour, 9 minutes, 23 seconds. And I'm going to give you a countdown in 3, 2, 1, hit play. As Howard Finkel is standing in the middle of the ring to announce the rules for the 1998 Royal Rumble match.
I miss Howard. There's no announcers anymore. Just people just say people's wrestling names and who won. I miss it.
I will say I think they're trying to bring that back in the last few years with certain announcers and their cadence and their style, like Samantha Irvin.
But she left, didn't she?
Yeah, she wanted to do more than just be a ring announcer, and I guess they didn't see that in the cards for her. And then they have another guy that just started last year. Last name is Nash. I think it's Steve Nash or Mark Nash or something. Right. And he's got a pretty distinct voice too. So I think they're trying to get back to,
I hope you're
having
right.
The announcers have some sort of something significant about them when it comes to the presentation. Yeah, I think they want to add more personalities. Speaking of which, here's one of Mick Foley's personalities entering here at number 1, Cactus Jack. Got some Dude Love fans sitting there in the crowd, front row. But Cactus Jack is going to kick things off in this Royal Rumble for 1998. We talked about it on the last podcast, our top 5 Rumble surprises, which you can find in the archives. And I agree with you, Dennis. I said it then, I'll say it again. I think it was orchestrated the way it was because of the introduction of, the evolution of Foley's career. He went from making his name as Cactus Jack to becoming a bigger star as Mankind to eventually, having that third personality, which was the least of everyone's, favorites, that being Dude Love.
Yeah, at first I thought maybe go to that better. They have, Cactus Jack, Dude Love, and Mankind. But then, I don't know. I disagree now. I disagree with myself now. I think they did it good.
I think they orchestrated it pretty well. So we see number 2 entering, and that is Cactus Jack's tag team partner at the time, Chainsaw Charlie, under a alter ego of Terry Funk's. What did you think of Terry Funk as the Chainsaw Charlie character in 1998?
I thought when I first saw Terry Funk with a chainsaw, I'm like, this is a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
But then he wasn't Terry. Yeah, he just. It had to be Terry Funk, though.
He was the only one that could pull it off.
Yeah. At least give him an executioner mask or something. You just can't have Terry Funk be. I don't know. You get what I'm trying to say? I thought it was going to be a lot better than it was.
Yeah. It's funny. The name Chainsaw Charlie. Actually, I heard this on Pritchard's podcast once. Chainsaw Charlie was the name of an accountant that was very popular amongst the wrestlers in the 80s. And Hercules, the late Hercules Hernandez, actually named him Chainsaw Charlie because when he would do his taxes, he knew how to cut and fudge the numbers, if you will.
That's a great nickname.
Yeah, that was who Hercules named. So everyone wanted the services of Chainsaw Charlie as they called him because the accountant's name was Charlie. There he goes. He takes off the pantyhose to gain some sympathy from Cactus, and this was a pretty cool way to open up the Rumble. This was during a period of time where they were just starting. They were really adopting more of that ECW style into their programming. Little bits and pieces here and there, not everything, but with the hardcore element and Cactus and Funk kind of adopting that in this storyline. I thought it was a fun way to open. You didn't see chairs and stuff like this in a Royal Rumble match.
No.
You didn't see weapons.
No.
So this was kind of neat. Oh, gosh almighty. Look at that chair shot from Funk, or Chainsaw, whatever you want to call him, to Cactus. Another one right over the dome again.
When I was a kid, I was very happy seeing people getting hit over the head over a chair. Now as an adult with all this concussion shit,
CTE.
I get so cringy.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised that there isn't. I've not heard of Mick Foley having any documented issues with CTE.
I'm so glad that
but
you got it.
It wouldn't surprise me if he's kept it private.
Oh yeah, there's one motherfucker that has CTE. It's fucking Mick Foley.
Yeah, I'm sure Terry Funk had it too.
So you gotta tell me, who the hell is this guy just came in, this Italian brother?
Tom Brandy, who was once remember the Salvatore Sincere gimmick in 1996. He was like some
Did he wear like a pink trunks or something?
Yeah,
I do remember that. Yeah.
So they changed his name and he went by his real name, Tom Brandy. He actually purchased the copyrights and the trademarks to the Patriot gimmick.
That was
him? He wrestles under the Patriot still and appears as the Patriot on the indie circuit. He bought the gimmick from Del Wilkes a number of years ago.
That's the new.
Del Wilkes was the original Patriot, but Tom Brandy ended up using it on the indies, and I believe he purchased it from Wilkes, if I'm not mistaken.
I would like to know how much does it cost to purchase a gimmick? I would like to know.
From another wrestler, I know, right?
I'd like to know that.
I know, that is interesting.
Yeah, here we go.
There you go. Suplex through the two chairs from Cactus Chainsaw.
That has to hurt. Oof.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100% it does.
Well, I hope they got paid good today.
Oh, I'm sure. And Royal Rumble always produce some good paydays from what I hear.
Vince, if you went to Vince and be like, Vince, man, if I'm going to take a suplex over some of the chairs, you're going to have to give me some extra. Or does Vince just go, hey, it's in your contract?
I don't know how that works. I do know that I've heard some stories over the years that like the Dudleys and I remember once on Jericho's podcast, he had Bubba Ray Dudley on, and Bubba Ray Dudley had credited Jim Ross for a lot of guys credited Jim Ross for giving bonuses at big shows. Like the Dudleys said that they, some of those TLC matches at like SummerSlams and WrestleManias, they, received an extra bump in pay on top of the show's payout from JR. And referee Mike Chioda revealed on I believe it was on Chris Van Vliet's podcast when he was the referee in the Rock Austin main event at WrestleMania 15. He took a chair shot to the head and he got like an additional $2 or $3 or something like that as a bonus because he took a shot to the head from JR. JR was head of talent relations at that time, so he was the one that was issuing that sort of stuff.
All right. Now, I'm assuming that you've never been trained to be a wrestler.
Correct.
So a guy comes up to you and goes, this is an official chair of the WWF back in 1995. I'll give you $5,000 if I can hit you over the head with it. Do you say yes? Me too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just wanted to say I got hit with a chair, but I have to feel it first to make sure this guy's not being an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
That I was like, all right, okay, you can do it. I owed you. Obviously, I want to be financially compensated for it, but I always wanted to get hit with a WWE chair. I always did.
Anyone out there that wants to give Dennis J. Levy $5,000? $5,000.
Smash
him over the head with a folding chair.
Yeah, that's after taxes, $5,000. You can hit me over the head with a chair. Yes.
We saw The Rock enter this Royal Rumble match, and this is interesting because The Rock was a member of the Nation of Domination, but it wouldn't be till not long after WrestleMania where The Rock would break out as the leader of the nation, kicking Farouk out as we see Headbanger Mosh entering the ring.
Why did Chainsaw Charlie
throw a chair at him? Because he's a lunatic.
Yeah,
they're creating that chaotic atmosphere.
I tell you what, if this is after that fucking incest gimmick, I wish that chair would have hit him right in the fucking head. That was the weirdest fucking gimmick in the history of gimmicks.
It was weird, but are you blaming the performer for carrying out the gimmick? He was doing his job. He was doing what he was told.
Especially, I know what. Sometimes I gotta say,
sometimes you get carried away.
No, yeah, of course. You know me. I work with that like a badge of honor.
Yep.
But no, I'm trying to say though. Sometimes I do think like there's wrestlers that have enough pull where they got to say no. But you're right. That guy where he's on the card. If he said
he didn't have much of a choice.
Yeah.
He didn't have much of a choice. Yeah. What Dennis is referring to, as we see, Headbanger Mosh is in the match. He once portrayed. This was after this. This was a couple of years.
Okay.
This was about a little over a year later. They got rid of the Headbangers, and they took. His name is Chaz Warrington in real life, and they gave him a gimmick called Beaver Cleaver.
Yeah,
Beaver Cleavage. Yeah. Beaver Cleavage, and they had this weird little incest thing where he was obsessed with his mother, who
I thought it was his sister. Was it his mother?
It was the mother.
Okay,
and she had big breasts and all this good stuff, and they were kind of implying that the mother and the son had a sexual relationship, and it maybe lasted about
it was at least a couple of weeks.
Yeah, a couple of weeks, and then once they realized it didn't really get the reaction they thought, it was like a really wet fart in church.
All right,
if you're holding it in and it's like the silent part of church where you're all praying and you're sitting in the pew and it's just like. Like one of those.
Yep.
That's what the Beaver Cleavage gimmick is.
I would have to tend
Phineas
to agree.
Godwin.
Yep. I always been a fan of Phineas Godwin. People shit on the Godwins. I loved them.
JR had a funny line about Phineas Godwin when he was coming to the ring. I remember he said something about Phineas Godwin is living proof of marrying first cousins or some shit like that. Something like that. It was pretty funny. JR and King had some great one-liners during this Rumble. During this Rumble match. At one point, I remember Lawler said something about Terry Funk thinks he's Chainsaw Charlie, and fucking JR goes, well, yeah, you think you're a king.
Yeah.
And it was pretty funny. Just their chemistry. I mean, this was the peak of JR and King as a duo.
10,000%.
The 1998, they were on fire as a tandem in the booth.
I would tend to agree.
And this here, I must say, in hindsight, when you look back on this, I'm talking about The Rock here, every Rumble usually has one performer that has a standout performance. They usually call it the Iron Man spot, this 8-ball from the Disciples of Apocalypse.
Harris brothers. I hate them.
You got a lot of hate for a lot of people.
I'm just saying that they stink. I just not a fan. Sorry.
Okay. As far as The Rock goes, thanks for interrupting me.
Sorry.
Is it fair to say that this was a breakout performance for him in this Rumble match? He was last to be eliminated by Steve Austin.
I gotta say no.
Okay.
His breakout, in my opinion, there's two. He had two breakout performances for me. Obviously, the Survivor Series, his debut, and he lost the match. But I said, "Holy shit, this kid's got it." When he lost to Mankind, That was a fantastic match.
Which one?
That he was Rocky Maivia still.
Really?
The finish was he goes on the top rope. He does this beautiful crossbody. It gets reversed into the mandible claw. Oh, I love that match.
Wow.
That to me, that was hello, Rocky Maivia. You got my attention.
In Your House, Cold Day in Hell, I think that's what it was, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it was Raw, but maybe I don't know. You know, my memory's so bad.
Yeah. Cactus Jack was eliminated earlier by Chainsaw Charlie, the accountant.
All right. And there goes Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie's out. And so are his pants, too.
Yeah, mercifully, come on, Rock.
No, he'll be in here for a little longer.
Okay.
I think he'll be in here for a little longer. I think he's in there when Mankind makes his entry into the match.
You can tell
later.
Terry Funk was gassed by 30 seconds in this.
I mean, as far as Rock goes in his performance,
yeah.
I'll have to check that out. But I just thought that
that was just me.
Yeah, in a rumble match.
Yeah.
Like this is where I think this is where they. I mean, they always saw something in him.
Yeah.
But this is where he had to really prove it. And to be like the Iron Man in this match, he entered in at number 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And he went the distance pretty much.
I would say I just don't think like for example like the Diesel.
In '94,
yeah,
they eliminated 7 guys.
That's what I mean. That was the British Bulldog, Shawn Michaels, right? Because you said '94. I just remember that's the Diesel Rumble, right?
Yes.
You don't go, oh, that's the Rock Rumble. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. All right. Yeah, maybe I'm looking a little too deep into it as we.
But I would say to me personally, dude, when he was Rocky Maivia and he had that match with Mankind, I'm like, this kid got it. This kid got it.
Blackjack Bradshaw in the mix here. Obviously, days, years before he became JBL, and but I always liked Bradshaw. Even as I thought, even if he was, I never saw him as WWF main event WWE championship material. But
at this point, how could you?
I always thought that it was believable when he was in the ring. You know what I mean?
He looks like a big tough cowboy. I love big tough cowboys.
Yeah.
So it's I like the JBL gimmick too.
The JBL gimmick is great.
I mean, the Bradshaw gimmick.
Yeah, Blackjack Bradshaw. Yeah. I thought I didn't have any issue with it whatsoever. If anything, I thought all right, he'd be a good tag team champion and even maybe a mid card champion. Never did I think he was. I mean, he blew me away with the JBL character. He really
I didn't see that one coming. I didn't see. I can remember yesterday when he turned on Farouk, and I'm like,
Owen Hart. There we see Shane McMahon with Mike Tyson watching, and cut away, and Jeff Jarrett and Jim Cornette attacking Owen Hart. And this was the period of time where Jarrett came back, and they were doing that NWA invasion, where they were trying to get the NWA some notoriety. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I do. I remember the Over the Hill Rock and Roll Express having a couple of matches.
Yes, I do remember that. Yes, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson had a brief run.
Yeah,
they were like NWA tag team champions. But this is JR, another great line during this moment. Jim Cornette's the stain on the underwear of life. I've used that before in other facets of life, but yeah, that's a classic line. But there we see Double J. Well, he wasn't Double J then. What
did he do that for? When was it? I don't remember Owen Hart ever being a baby face. Other
this
than
was after
the High Energy, whatever they were fucking called.
Well, this was after. This was a couple months after Brett left, when Brett was screwed, and then they kind of gave Owen this lone Hart, Black Heart gimmick, and he was by himself and he was wrestling DX. This is before he joined. This is before he joined the Nation of Domination.
Okay.
So they were trying him out as like a upper card baby face, and he grew some facial hair in, and they called him the Black Heart, the sole survivor of the Hearts. Nice clothesline by there.
That was
by Phineas.
They say this was according to the Undertaker on one of his podcasts. They say if you're going to put a top 5, you guys you don't know he's one of the toughest guy in the room list. They say Phineas. They think Phineas is one of the toughest motherfuckers you're ever going to meet.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. Those Godwin boys, him and the other one. Phineas's real name is Dennis Knight, and Henry is Mark Canterbury. But yeah, no, I've heard over the years that those guys were not to be messed with. See Steen Blackman, another guy, certainly not to be messed with.
We're talking. At least I think it was off. off podcast, but we're talking about Ken Shamrock.
Yes.
About something. Give me a sack of potatoes. How could you not put Steve Blackman and Ken Shamrock in a tag team and not put the titles on them? That would have been a big hit.
I know that, like, sporadically, because of the similar presentation with martial arts and mixed martial arts, that they had run-ins, as teams, as a team every once in a while.
I don't remember that at all.
But they were like one-offs. Like, they weren't like, like the Nation would, go after Shamrock, Blackman would save him, and then
I do kind of remember.
And then at one point they turned Blackman heel, and he was wrestling Shamrock. They had a couple of matches right before Shamrock left WWF.
Okay.
They had they had a match. They had a match where they wrestled in a parking lot with like cars surrounding like in a circle. They called it the Iron Circle match.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then they did one of those like Lions Den matches with like the mini MMA cage. I
remember Ken Shamrock and Owen Hart did that, but they did that with Ken with Steve Blackman too, huh?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Back-to-back years at SummerSlam. In 98, it was Shamrock and Owen, and then in 99, it was Shamrock and Blackman. I didn't mind. I liked Steve Blackman when he did the hardcore division stuff, when he kind of brought his own flair to it, as we see D'Lo Brown making his way to the ring. Very underrated mid-carder, in my opinion. I'm not saying he could have been world champion, but he was a very good performer. I like D'Lo Brown stuff.
I just think that
great matches with like X-Pac and even I like the stuff he did with Mark Henry as a team.
I just think it would be remiss if we didn't mention Draws. That if the Draws incident didn't happen, I think he would have been. He would have been the diet like Mr. Perfect of the mid card.
Mr. Perfect.
But it took the piss out of him. You could just tell D'Lo after the Draws injury, he just wasn't the same dude. That's a character. That should show you how good of a human being. I respect that in a way.
I think I do believe that after that there wasn't an emphasis on him going up further than he already was.
Yeah, you could just tell he was just.
They were like, all right, he's going to be in a solid tag team. He'll be a solid mid carder, but there's no, and not to say that they had plans to make him the champion by any means. Yeah. But if there was a point in time where like his momentum, kind of faded, it was after the incident with Draws, which was a total accident.
Yeah.
Actually, I just saw an interview recently with him on Twitter. Someone asked him a question about going into the Hall of Fame. He goes, "Only if you put Draws in with me."
Okay, I like that. So, and that's another. By the way, another mysterious tough guy is D'Lo Brown. So Farouk was doing like an interview, and he goes, "Fucking."
He said, "Fucking."
No, he didn't say "fucking," but he's like, "Ahmed Johnson." This guy was talking so much shit to D'Lo. D'Lo finally said, "Shut the fuck up, or I'm going to take you out." And then he's like, "You can't take me out." He goes, "Oh yeah, I can." He got up. He took him out.
Really?
Yep. Apparently, it wasn't even close. He just kicked the shit out of Ahmed Johnson.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard Ahmed Johnson pissed off some people over the years. It wouldn't surprise me if some of those Nation boys got his wrath too. Kurgan.
I like the oddities.
Yeah, I didn't know what to make of this.
I give him and like. Yeah, you know what? On paper, this is actually a good idea. Him being in the Rumble, he can, but yeah, he just sucked though. But I like the oddities at the whole though.
The oddities weren't a bad. It wasn't terrible. I'll say that. But yeah, it was. I think honestly, Kurgan. I mean, he looks like somebody in the 90s, like the early 90s, they would have fed to Undertaker. Like during that era where he wrestled like Giant Gonzalez.
That's a good point.
And like, King Kong Bundy and Kamala. Like he looks like someone that, would have been on Undertaker's resume. And I also think too, during this period of time, bringing him in and trying to, portray this monster. You already had Kane, who was lighting people on fire and setting the ring posts on fire, and then you had Undertaker with all the hocus pocus stuff he was doing. I just think, Kurgan just came in at a bad time. I'm not saying that he would have been a huge star, but yeah, bad timing. I think, for his presentation, considering the landscape
Did
with
they
the
really?
other giants.
I get it that Sable was way more over than Mero, but can we give Mero his one? Like, can we give him some kind of spotlight? Did they have to have Sable with them, coming down with them? I always felt so bad for him.
It was designed to make him a heel.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
I just feel so bad. I was a huge fan of the Johnny B. Bad gimmick. That I get it. They couldn't get the copyrights and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
They have that amazing gimmick, and like just be, and then they just have like you're just always in the shadow of Sable.
I didn't mind
I
this.
so bad.
I didn't mind this character where he was the Golden Gloves boxer. I didn't mind it. I thought, the Wild Man. I didn't really care for that. His debut in WWF is the Wild Man. It sounded like Johnny B. Bad, but did not look like Johnny B. Bad.
Nope,
whatsoever. Like you, I didn't mind the Johnny B. Bad character. I thought Johnny B. Bad is in terms of his time in WCW, he held it down for the mid card. Like if there was an opening match on a pay-per-view, you put him on it. Like there was one match I saw a few months ago, him and Flying Brian Pillman at WCW Fall Brawl 1998. They wrestled for just about 30 minutes, and it was action packed. I'd go out of your way to watch that match.
I don't think I ever saw that.
Fall Brawl 1995. Johnny B. Bad versus Flying Brian Pillman. I believe it was for the TV title.
Okay.
I think it was it was for a shot at a championship. I don't know I don't remember what championship it was. Oh, speaking of Shamrock, there he is, making his way down to the ring.
I would die in this hill that he should have been a champion at least.
I agree. I think considering the mystique publicly, like this was during a period of time, they brought him in as, a former MMA fighter.
Yeah.
ABC television dubbed him the world's most dangerous man. They had all these taglines for him. Oh, there we go. Everyone eliminates the big guy.
That was a good spot.
Yeah, that was a good spot. That always gets a pretty big pop. Shamrock should have had a run with the belt, in my opinion. I'm not saying it would have been a long one.
Yeah.
But, like, he should have been... You are an MMA fighter who are supposed to be more dangerous than pro wrestlers, and he didn't have the championship. I'm not saying it wasn't believable, but I think that a run with the title would have really solidified him.
10,000%.
Considering during this period of time, UFC, mixed martial arts, it was, like, prohibited in, like, 44 out of the 50 states in our country.
Oh, dude, you watch the old
If you went to an event, it felt like you were doing something illegally.
I was fucking bonkers. I never saw it live, but I employ anybody. Go. I bet you it's on YouTube. Just do 1994 UFC. Just it's unbelievable.
Oh yeah, it's like Underground Fight Club.
Yeah,
it really is. And the fact that like there was this mystique about UFC, and it was like illegal in some areas, and Shamrock was all these taglines they gave him to really hype him up. I thought for sure he was going to have a run with the belt.
I just can't believe he wasn't. Is he in the WWE Hall of Fame?
No,
that is just crazy.
There has been talk of in the last few years of maybe putting him in. I could see them putting him into the next. I wouldn't be surprised if they put him in this year. To be quite honest with you.
Are there any announcements? You know me, I'm out of the game right now. Are there any announcements for the Hall of Fame?
The only one they announced was back in the fall. They announced Stephanie McMahon's going into the Hall of Fame.
For God's sakes!
Yeah,
I mean,
but I would
get it's deserved, but like
I would imagine that John Cena will probably, if John Cena's not busy filming something, that they might put him in this year as the headliner.
All right, just see how for Haas. Just for Haas, they pull off Cena Bomber for next year. Who would be the main event then for the Hall of Fame? Just for Haas, no Cena Bomber.
So if there's no Cena Bomber this year, but instead they do it next year.
Yeah.
Well, next year they're gonna do it in Saudi Arabia. So I can't imagine that there's going to be that many people that they're going to be flying in to do the Hall of Fame in Saudi Arabia.
That's a good point.
If anything, it's probably going to be like I could see them doing like I could see next year in Saudi Arabia if they do a Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It's going to be guys that are currently working for the company. So like how like sometimes some guys are 2-time Hall of Famers.
Oh, 10,000%.
Like I could see like Undertaker going in.
With his brother Kane.
With Kane, it's like a team, like the Brothers of Destruction go into the Hall of Fame. You know. Or if, like, let's say they do get The Rock, maybe The Rock will be the headliner. If
how about Nation Domination? They're not in yet, are they?
Not as a group. No, the only people that are in from the Nation, everyone's in except D'Lo.
Okay.
So Rock's. Oh no, I'm sorry. D'Lo and Rock. Rock is not in. So Ron Simmons, Mark Henry, and the Godfather are all in the Royal Rumble match. Or I'm sorry, in the Hall of Fame.
At first, no, and then what? I used to shit on the Godfather being in the Hall of Fame. Every time that motherfucker came out with those hoes, the place erupted. He deserved it.
Yeah, you know, my area is Mankind.
There we go.
Our second face of Foley, making his entrance into the Royal Rumble match here. I'll say my criteria for Hall of Fame has changed over the years. It used to be like, well, if you were a main event guy, you headlined pay-per-views, you won the belt, like you were Hall of Fame material. I didn't really think like mid-carders deserved it. And then like over the years, like I would harken back to other professional sports where there were guys that didn't win world championships and didn't, play on championship teams, but they produced, their stats in terms of their career were Hall of Fame worthy, whether it was like batting averages or touchdowns or rushing yards or on base percentage or goals or home runs. You know what I mean? But they never. And there's a lot of that in wrestling, in my opinion. I hearken a lot of the mid-carders, and there's names like, I didn't think the Bushwhackers deserved to go in, but you know what? The Bushwhackers always, as silly as they were like the let me up, the popcorn match. Like you knew, like if you had something serious go on and it was like a heavy angle that like you needed to digest and breathe from, you put the Bushwhackers on to kind of lighten the mood.
And I tell you what, how many
Godfather with the hose, you know what I mean? Like you said, like it gets a big pop. So I mean, there's room for guys that if you had an impact and you were significantly popular and you made an impact on the industry, then yeah, I think you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
I agree with you. At first, I'm like with you. Like the word, all the sports, like regular sports, I think it's basketball. Basketball, if you're very good, you're going to be in the Hall of Fame. I think you should be immortal.
Yeah.
But for wrestling, it's kind of like, I think if it was like in layman's terms, I think they should say thanks for the memories. Like fame, whatever you want to call it.
Almost treated as like
thanks for the memories, right?
It's become the Hall of Very Good.
Oh, well, yeah, Coco Beware. Can you even call it that? But I'm just saying.
Coco Beware was a good athlete. I mean, I'm not.
Can you name me 5 matches he won? Give me 5 matches.
But it's not even about win-loss percentage.
I know, it's true.
It's scripted entertainment we're talking about here. I'm not saying he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Like everyone talks about the Coco effect.
But I still think that was by design. I think that they're like throwing Coco because just in case we have another person, they'd be like, "Well, Coco Beware's in."
Yeah, exactly.
I think they did that.
Well, I think there's names like Big Boss Man, Godfather, over the year, Bushwhackers.
Yeah,
a lot of those names, I think, were generated because of the Coco Beware effect. Oh, Mankind's out already by the artist formerly known as Gold Dust. So that's the second face of Foley that has been eliminated. Another name, like a name in this Rumble that isn't in the Hall of Fame, is Goldust. Goldust he's currently employed by AEW.
Yeah, he's still with AEW. Huh?
Yeah, he does some. I'm hearing he works behind the scenes for them, like helping produce matches and train some of the women. He's got his own wrestling school, but I also have heard that I guess he still wrestles for them from time to time. I believe he's like a Ring of Honor tag team champion or something. Here he is.
Jeff Jarrett.
Good old Double J. Another one in the Hall of Fame.
That's right. I know why he deserved it.
I thought you know what? People shit on it, but I thought I'm not saying Jeff Jarrett should have been the world champion, but Jeff Jarrett was involved in some memorable stuff, and he didn't change the bit. I mean, his family were very, instrumental in the territory days. I mean, with Lawler and USWA down in Memphis. Memphis was a hotbed for wrestling. They were a big part of that. But Jarrett did some pretty fun stuff. The Double J gimmick, the country music singer.
I like the Double J gimmick.
That wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Even when he cut his hair and he was beating up women and smashing people with the guitar, there's Owen Hart. Ready to get his lick back, as the kids would say.
I would never to understand. I get it. Wrestling's wrestling, right? I would never understand how somebody outside the match can eliminate somebody. You're like, oh, well, you went over the top. Sorry.
But Owen never made it into the match.
That's what I mean. But like, I know an outsider could eliminate somebody, and it comes with elimination.
Yeah, I know, right? That's funny. There was one year there was a major botch in the Rumble. It was actually in '92, the year that Flair won. Randy Savage ran in the ring. He went after Jake the Snake. They had that big rivalry at the time. He dumps Jake over and tosses him out over the top rope. Then he throws himself over the top rope to go after Savage.
Yep.
And Undertaker spotted the fucking oopsie and came outside and went after Savage and brought him back in the ring. Oh, see you later, Double J. You're out of here. Got a pretty big pop there. And Undertaker spotted the oopsie, brought Savage back into the ring, and on commentary, Heenan and Monsoon said, well, Savage wasn't technically eliminated because he needed to be eliminated by somebody else. Oh, there he is.
The Honky Tonk.
The Honky Tonky Man. That's right. The greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time.
Why is Triple H coming down with the Honky Tonk Man?
Well, he's coming down because he's going to get involved in the Royal Rumble match because he's in the middle of a rivalry with Owen Hart at this time. So, yeah. He's gonna stick his nose or his beak, as they would say.
What the fuck?
Oh, there goes Shamrock out of the Rumble.
What is Goldust wearing? I'm dumbfounded. Like, what is
this was 1998, dude. This was Attitude Era, man. This was Vince Russo. This was like Shock Jock, Jerry Springer, Howard Stern style wrestling. Like,
I just don't understand what the fuck he's wearing.
It was just when he was like rebelling and against his the Goldust name and his father and all this other stuff. Up. See you later.
Oh, that was a good spot. I love how they did that.
Yep.
That was clever.
Yeah. That was pretty good. Well, see, there you go, Dennis. You just talked about it. Someone not involved in the match eliminating someone that's in the match.
There you go.
Look at that segue. You didn't even plan that one, dude.
Yep.
That's great. That's great podcasting right there. I say that. Hunter with a few.
It's like, oh, you went over the top rope.
Boom.
Sorry.
Suck that, dude.
Yep.
See you later.
Like Hogan gets eliminated, and he just literally just tosses over. I don't know.
Well, he tossed Sid over in '92.
Like, how do you even? And how did the baby face? I'm just anyway. Every time my brain can't.
There's a funny story I heard on Bruce Pritchard's podcast. They were talking about the '97 Royal Rumble, and that was the year it was in San Antonio where they got the AAA guys, and Mil Mascaras was a part of it. Well, Mil Mascaras refused to get thrown over the top rope. In fact, he told Bruce Pritchard, he was like, no yob, meaning like, I'm not doing a job, in Spanish. No yob, amigo, no yob. Well, this idiot, he was mixed up in the match with someone. Someone got thrown over the top rope. Mascaras went to the top rope and did a crossbody to the outside of the floor. And then the referees told him he was eliminated. He tried getting back in the ring.
I tell you what,
Now, I don't know if he did that on purpose because he didn't want to do the job, or he's such an idiot that he realized, oh, shit, I just eliminated myself.
So I always wanted to know why that guy did that. I'm so glad you told me that I was always wondering, why did that fucking guy do that? And who the fuck is? I mean, he must have been huge in Mexico or something.
Mil Mascaras is a lucha libre legend.
I'm gonna say, who the fuck are you though? That they go? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And you're telling me too, like, I don't know, what would you say? It was 97?
Yeah.
If I was WWE, I'm saying Sid Vicious, I'd be like, Sid, take care of this motherfucker,
Sid.
Or whatever. Sid or fucking
Undertaker.
Yeah, wherever
Vader.
the fuck, yeah.
Well, no, he was such a revered lucha libre legend that they kind of let that pass. Ahmed Johnson's in the match.
Yep, our boy.
Doing a whole lot of nothing. This is the period of time where Ahmed Johnson slowed down. As a matter of fact, he wouldn't be long for this world following this event. You'd be out of the WWF because he didn't want to do a job to Kurgan, who was in the Rumble earlier.
All right.
Yeah. Who's up next? Who do we got here? Mark Henry. The world's strongest man.
Is this sexual chocolate?
He just joined the Nation of Domination earlier in the week.
Okay.
On Monday Night Raw. And it was The Rock who brought him into the Nation. And that continued the dissension between him and Farouk. Because Farouk didn't approve of this. Farouk was the leader.
How can you not approve of the world's strongest man to be in your group?
I know. He didn't approve of Mark Henry in the tag team or the Nation of Domination.
Savio Vega, totally acceptable, but literally the world's strongest man is unacceptable to be in your group. Okay, sure. Okay,
I know, right?
Okay,
Savio Vega.
You okay, Farouk.
Yeah. Well, that was in storyline. That was
All right. I'm just saying.
That was Farouk, kind of, beefing with The Rock.
How about Zelina Vega? You think he should be in the Hall of Fame? Talking about mid-card Hall of Famers?
I'll say this. He was a good worker. He had some great matches. He really did. I'd put him in the Hall of Fame, yeah.
Me too.
Also, too, like, he did a lot of stuff in Puerto Rico.
I was about to say, the Puerto Rican legend.
Yeah, in Puerto Rico and in Carlos Colon's territory, he was a big deal. TNT, I mean, he really... I wouldn't say he was one of the godfathers of hardcore wrestling, but he really helped put it on the map down in Puerto Rico, along with Abdullah the Butcher and Carlos Colon. Like, he... And his time in the WWF, I liked Savio Vega. I really did. I tagged him with Razor Ramon, even putting him in the Nation. I didn't really care for the Bariquas gimmick, but
I hated the biker gang versus the Los Bariquas.
Yeah,
I hated
it was all right. Yeah, it wasn't anything special.
Yeah,
I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to. Oh, who's coming out? This is nobody. This is where they think that Steve Austin has been attacked, and he's not going to make it to the Royal Rumble, because the story going into this Royal Rumble was that Austin was a marked man because he had went after everybody. That was the video package you and I watched prior to hitting record to get a little bit of a preview. So the story heading into this match is that pretty much Austin. There goes Ahmed Johnson.
I would say it's funny that I'm guilty of sin of always calling Farouk Ahmed Johnson Farouk. I'm sorry, but yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Don't worry about it. What the heck? He just kicked Phineas Godman in the back of the head.
Yeah, he probably saw that Confederate flag on his fucking knee. I just saw that. I just saw it. I was like, good for you.
I didn't even realize that.
Good for you, Ahmed Johnson.
Got the tattoo as well. Look at him. He got the tattoo on his... I wonder if he still got that ink on his body. I hope not.
You know what, though?
We're not going to get political.
Yeah, no,
so if you're doing that, shut up.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We're not doing that.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying, you're just like, hey, why is Ahmed Johnson attacking him? I'm just like, oh, I see why.
Yeah.
That's fucking bad in his fucking knee. All right, you're right. Sorry. You're down south. I can appreciate Southern history. I really can't. Anyway, enough said.
Enough said. Yeah. There we go. D'Lo Brown working on Mark Henry. It's every man for himself, even in the nation. The nation of domination.
Yep. Yeah, I thought they were supposed to be buddies.
Well, it's every man for himself. You're fighting for an opportunity to main event.
Good point. You think
WrestleMania 14.
You think they'd be smart though? That
work together and get everybody out, and then they all Well, I mean, there's only 3 of them in there so far. They don't have that many members of the nation until right about now with Kama Mustafa shoving Ahmed Johnson. I don't know what that was about, but
that looked like that was legit.
Yeah, that does look like it was legit. It probably was.
I'm telling you, the nation did not like.
You want to talk about tough guys? A lot of people have said over the years that man right there, Charles Wright, known as the Godfather, who portrayed the Godfather, as well as Papa Shango and other gimmicks, that he was a tough dude to not be messed with.
Just look at him; he's fucking jacked.
I mean, he was a legit fighter. Really tough bag. Look at him; he's going to town on D'Lo. See, every man for himself in this. I like Mark Merrow behind there. He's like cheering them all on to beat each other up. There's a lot going on in this Rumble. I'll say that. This is
a fun Rumble. I gotta say. I remember it being fun, but I didn't. Maybe it's because of you. I don't remember it being this fun though.
I remember I didn't get this on pay-per-view. I had a friend of mine that got it, and he let me borrow the tape, and I remember watching it, and I was like, man, I really missed out on a good... Because I watched Raw the next night when Austin and Tyson had that shoving match. Yeah. And I was like, man, I got to get the Royal Rumble. And my parents wouldn't let me go to the replay, and my friend at school, Keith, he was like, hey, I got it on tape. You want to borrow it? And he let me borrow it. And when I watched it, I was like... I remember I watched it like a few days later, and I think it was like a snow day. I was home from school. And I remember watching it, and I was like, man, I missed out on a good Rumble. This show is... The show itself is pretty good. The undercard on this show, Vader wrestles Goldust, which was a pretty fun opener. Ken Shamrock and The Rock for the Intercontinental title. New Age Outlaws and the Legion of Doom for the tag team titles. This match, I think there was like a Mexicans minis match.
Oh God!
Who do we got coming out? Is this Austin? I believe this is Austin. Let's play the audio.
Certainly sounds like it.
All right.
If I'm Thrasher, I'd be like, please give me a stunner. Make me famous.
Yep. Austin's in the mix now.
Yep.
I'll play the audio for the final sequence when at the end of this match because it's got a pretty good pop and it was a pretty fun ending to this Rumble match here. Austin working on D'Lo Brown.
Yep.
So we got 4 members of the Nation: Goldust, Headbanger Thrasher, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Blackjack Bradshaw, and the Honky Tonky Man. Came through the crowd that we see in the replay.
Yeah.
Went right after Mark Marrow. Boom. He's gone. And then there's Mike Tyson, who is all hyped up.
I still wish we had Tyson Austin at WrestleMania.
They couldn't. I mean, it was almost a possible. Well, let's put it this way.
Yeah.
They couldn't do it because Tyson was suspended from the boxing commission. And so he was trying to get back into boxing. There's Henry Godwin.
Oh, talking about that flag again, man.
Yep. If Shawn Michaels' injury and from this Royal Rumble pay-per-view in the casket match, the idea of Austin and Tyson was thrown around, but I don't think Mike Tyson was. I'm not saying he would have been reluctant, but from what I understand over the years, I think from what I've read, he was trying to get back into boxing because this was after he bit Holyfield's ear. And so I think him just being a part of this event, like as the special enforcer and having very limited physicality, like they were even careful as to how physical he was getting involved because he didn't want the boxing commission to use his participation in wrestling against him when he was trying to get his license back. So that's why it was very, very limited with what he did. You know, the shoving match with Austin. He even the WrestleMania stuff where he was at ringside. He didn't do anything till the end.
Yeah.
He came in and made the count, and then he knocked out Shawn Michaels. He did not do a whole lot. So I think that was by design because he was trying to get back in the good graces of the boxing commission. And this was a period of time where wrestling was not. It was looked down on, even though it was popular.
Yeah.
Mainstream media, pop culture, they didn't care for wrestling. Oh, here comes Savio Vega and all the other Boricuas.
There you go. Are they all going to go in there?
Yeah, it looks like they're going after Austin. Come here, Stone Cold. I'm going to kick your ass. Oh, yeah, Stone Cold. I didn't remember the strap match in the fight of my life at WrestleMania 12. Oh, yeah. Oh, hit him in the face. Oh, you were down too. Oh, Stone Cold. I'm going to beat you, Stone Cold. That's my Savio Vega.
I think it's pretty good. Like, you nailed it, dude, when we were watching King of the Ring. And he's doing that promo when he's right when he's about to fight Yokozuna.
Oh
yeah.
What was that, King of the Ring 95?
Yeah, like Yokozuna's.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what you did.
Remember? Yeah. We watched that whole thing.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We watched that whole fucking stinker.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We've watched a lot of stinkers over the years.
Yeah, we did.
I must say, we've watched a lot of stinkers.
I thought WrestleMania 2 podcast would be the king of the stinkers, but I think we've seen some worse ones.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. Like that scaffold match with Rapmaster PN News and stunning Steve Austin from the Great American Bash.
My favorite part of that whole match, I don't know what Bobby Eaton said, but you can tell he said something to those guys. He goes, "I'm taking this fucking flag."
Yeah, we're done.
We're done.
Yeah, we're done with this shit. Yeah, let's end this one early. I don't care if they gave us 10 more minutes. Let's get the fuck out of here now. Yeah, I believe it. I definitely believe that they ended that shit early. Yeah, another stinker you can listen to in the archives. A watch along almost hit the 3-hour mark. Dennis and I covered Great American Bash 1991. You can find that in the archives if you feel like wasting 3 hours of your life. We had a lot of fun watching it.
Fun.
So go check it out.
Yeah.
Who's coming out next in this Royal Rumble match? Farouk,
my dude.
There he is.
I do like me some Farouk. I always think, again, that's another guy. Figure a way. Give him a one championship run.
In WWE?
Yeah, one. I always thought the summer, right? Before SummerSlam was the slowest time. Give him a June title run. Why the fuck not?
I thought that there was a good chance he was going to get the belt when he wrestled Undertaker.
I did too.
When they kind of implied that, like, that they were kind of teasing the idea of, like, the WWF being racist towards black people when he was the leader of the nation and how there was no black champions.
He was right.
and I thought that was a period of time where they would have given him a shot. That would have been a good opportunity to put the belt on him for at least a short period of time.
Yeah.
He beats Undertaker. Let's say maybe Undertaker takes it back like a month or two later, kind of thing. I could have gotten behind that.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Farouk, the leader of the nation, is the World Wrestling Federation champion. Yeah. Why not?
Maybe have The Rock fuck him over, and that's what. I don't know. I always thought Farouk that deserved a run on the title.
Now, as we're watching this right now, it is at this moment in time, we are at 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 14 seconds. The Rock is beating up Steve Austin on the outside. Neither of them been eliminated because they were not thrown over the top rope. They both went through the ropes, the second rope. So eliminations can only occur over the top rope. So for those of you that are following along with us watching, you might be confused, but don't be, because Rock and Austin are not eliminated as we have our next entrant in this Royal Rumble match. There he is!
Yeah, there's the Dudester.
The Dudester, Dude Love. Mick Foley, the third face of Foley, entering this match here. Not the biggest Dude Love fan, but I will say, if there's one Dude Love match you watch, it's the match with Steve Austin from Over the Edge 1998. I told you on the last podcast. It's a classic.
Yeah.
And don't even watch. Listen to our podcast and watch it with us. But if not, you want to watch it by yourself, find it on Netflix, Over the Edge 1998. A hell of a match.
Yeah, we did do that, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
We did, just because it was an anniversary and it was one of my favorite matches. Someone posted a video of it on Twitter recently, and I commented, and it got some pretty strong responses. But my opinion, one of my favorite Mick Foley matches of all time that doesn't get enough love.
Yeah,
I really don't think it gets enough love from the fan. Everyone's going to remember Hell in the Cell when he got thrown off the cage.
Yep.
Even people are going to remember the match with Shawn Michaels at Mind Games, because that's a great match too.
Yep.
I love that match. I didn't like it back then, but I grew to appreciate it as I got older. But man, Austin Dude Love from Over the Edge 1998, that's wow.
Yeah.
Hell of a match. Hell of a match. Yeah. Go out of your way to watch that. There's a lot of things you should watch at our recommendation. That's definitely one of them. As we're getting down to the nitty gritty of this Royal Rumble match.
I love
here.
the pacing of this match, dude. This is one of the best paced Royal Rumbles of all time.
Yeah, it's just it's nonstop action.
Yep.
And it doesn't feel like it's like getting tiring or boring.
Because it's never an empty ring. I like an empty ring when you got an enforcer and he kicks the shit out of him.
Yeah.
But I don't like an empty ring when it's like, why did you do that, though? You know what I mean?
Chains from the Disciples of Apocalypse coming in at number 29, who was also known as the Underfaker. He was the fake Undertaker, representing the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase in 1994.
Yep.
Also primetime Brian Lee in ECW. I'm trying to think what else he did. I think that's about it.
Oh, he actually did one other thing.
What did he do?
He was in a movie, and he killed Crush. I saw a clip on it on YouTube. Look up Crush versus the fake Undertaker. They did a movie in India where it was like, I don't know the premise of the movie, but there's a scene where gamblers are betting Crush versus the fake Undertaker.
Crush the wrestler?
Yeah, Crush the wrestler versus the fake Undertaker.
Wow.
And the fake Undertaker killed him.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay, I'll have to Google it.
Yep.
You folks out there, if you're listening, Google it as well.
Yep.
All right, so who do we got left? We got Chains, Goldust, Savio Vega, Dude Love, Steve Austin, Farouk, Rock, Kama Mustafa, Henry Godwin, the Honky Tonk Man, Mark Henry. Is D'Lo Brown still in there?
Somewhere. I thought I saw D'Lo.
Or did he get eliminated? Is that a headbanger still?
No,
in there?
that's Savio Vega, not D'Lo.
Savio.
Yeah, I think D'Lo's gone.
D'Lo's gone. So Farouk and the Rock.
Yep.
Chains, Honky Tonk, excuse me. Yep. Headbanger Thrasher still in there. Yep. We got one more entry left. Can you guess who it is, Dennis?
Let me think.
I'm going to play the audio for us.
You got it.
JR has a great line for this. Watch this.
I'm a fat piece of shit.
That big old stinky grizzly bear.
They say, dude, he did not watch that fucking unitard. They said he was the stinkiest wrestler of all time.
Yeah, I've heard some stories that he was his hygiene was not up to par with everyone else in the locker room. There we go. Vader eliminating Honky Tonk Man. He's out of the Royal Rumble match now.
Obviously, my favorite, for all the wrong reasons, my favorite Vader moment. I'm a fat piece of shit.
Yes. As a matter of fact, Dennis, I don't know if you remember this, but we actually played the audio of that on an episode once. It was actually on the Dude Love Austin episode because that took place from that same event over the Edge 1998. And I knew that you loved that moment, so I was like, yeah, let me cue this up for him. You know, he'll be totally taken by surprise, and you definitely were.
Did you actually get to hear him say it? I know.
Yeah, they didn't bleep it out. Yeah. I'm just a big fat piece of shit, and he like throws the mask or whatever. Yeah,
that was the last time you kind of saw him, right?
He didn't do a whole lot after that. No,
how do you recover from that? How do you make Vader a world champion after he looks right in the camera? I'm a fat piece of shit.
I mean, there's, I've said it. Hindsight being 2020, yep. I thought Vader during this period of time in '98, he could have been like a good like I don't know, like a hired assassin for like Vince, like put Vader in there on like a Raw against like Steve Austin,
that would have made perfect sense.
But Vader, he had suffered some injuries and he was going through some stuff, and it just it didn't work out for him. The Shawn Michaels thing at SummerSlam that year, I mean, he was snake bit from the start. He debuted at the Royal Rumble 2 years prior to this in '96. Yeah, and he had a bum shoulder. And he didn't get it worked on, and so then they filmed that angle with him and Gorilla Monsoon, where he beat up Gorilla Monsoon as the WWF president.
Yeah,
and then he was off TV for a few months. There goes Savio Vega. See you later. Oh, that Stone Cold Steve Austin, you bastard, you son of a bitch.
Oh, there goes fucking Vader.
There goes that stinky grizzly bear. He's out of the Royal Rumble now.
What, he lost 90 Mississippis? What the hell is that?
I know, right? From Old Dust of all people.
Yep.
Yeah, there goes Henry Godwinn. He took a fall out of the Rumble match thanks to the Dudester, their Dude Love. Yep. And I think Goldust is going to be headed out there too. See you later, Old Dust. There you go. From Chains of all people, the Underfaker.
There's no way Chains is going to make it to the Final Four.
No. I know who the Final Four are.
All right.
Maybe we'll play the Final Four, the audio of the Final Four, for everyone to listen to. If I could find the remote control.
I can guarantee you, if I was watching this live back in 1980
see you later, Mark Henry.
As a 17-year-old, I'll be cheering for Farouk right now.
Not yet. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Boom. There you go. Mark Henry's out. And this is the Final Four right here. Farouk and The Rock from the Nation of Domination, Dude Love, and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, that was a gnarly bump.
Yes. Oh, he turned on the dude. See you later, dude. Watch this. I see The Rock.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, fuck this. I'm not helping him. All right.
That was awesome.
That was a fun Rumble. I've always been a fond. We're watching right now. If you're still watching it, it's Michael Cole and Mike Tyson. Let's hear the audio.
Stone Cold.
Listen to this. This is funny. Cold Stone is my man. Shawn Michaels up and coming, hungry tiger. I've been a fan of Undertaker. Yeah. This is a lot of fun, Dennis. Thank you very much.
This was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm glad that you picked this Royal Rumble.
Me too.
I've seen this one before, obviously, and it's a sleeper Rumble in my opinion. I thought the story heading into it was good. Austin made himself the target. There was all kinds of action going on, all different stories going on that just meshed real well, flowed real well. 100%, one of my favorite Rumbles to watch every year when it's Rumble season. So thank you for choosing this one.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think it's about that time that we call it a day here. We put this one officially down for the 3 count. Actually, you know what? It's Royal Rumble. We throw this one over the top rope and both feet hit the floor, and we will see you all next time.
Nice job.